Next up is the last of the 6-inch Godzilla and Kong figures. It's Destroya. And now, here's the thing about Destroya. Destroya is kind of mixed in a lot of regards. Because it not only borrows the mold from, again, some old Bandai vinyls, but it also does things that those vinyls never did. What are they? Well, let's start. The sculpt and paint. Pretty snazzy, if I do say so myself. The overall mold of the head is actually pretty close to accurate. Like, it is really good. The horn itself, mine's a tiny bit scuffed up. I have another one that's not, but mine is, whatever. But it's actually painted pretty decently, just being a big dab of yellow paint, not really much in the way of it. Also, that is a big horn, I just realized. The eyes are painted pretty basic yellow. At least they look better than the original Monster Arts one. We have like some gray lining for the teeth and some like gray dabbles for the extra like pincers. I don't know what it is with Heisei Kaiju and giving them like pincers and all that. But alas, we got some like red color variation because we have like a dark base and we have like the lighter, almost like a spray on the outside. And it looks really good. We have some like more of the detail over here. Coming on down to the stomach region, well, of course, we have like these horns, which aren't painted, these like spikes on the shoulders, but we have this little area that's like painted a green, orange type color. I don't know why I said green, I'm an idiot. Well, he does puke green blood, so not to mention he shoots a green beam out of this, so I'll give it that. Because that's in the deleted scene, it opens up. Although I think it opens up in some Godzilla media, whatever. So we have spray like little crab pincers on the hands. We have like 3 prong fingers. Moving on down, we have some sprays for the knee caps, little like knee shin, knee spikes, and then here we have the 3-toed feet, which are also sprayed pretty well actually. It's a little mild spray, a little dulled down, but it's nothing too bad. For the wings here, the tiny little wings are not painted, unfortunately, but they are molded pretty well, but are also pretty flexible. Same with the larger wings, which speaking of the larger wings, we kind of have like the same spray that these sides of the head crown does, and it goes on to this entire side and kind of gives it more color variation. When we go to the back, though, it kind of loses all of that. But the mold is still there. And we do have a bit of paint, like a little bit of a mild spray going on down, kind of lining everything the way it should be. All the way down towards the midsection of the tail where you plug it in. And then from there, it's just the basic kind of maroon type plastic color that they use, except it's a lot more soft plastic here. And of course, we have the little pincer at the end. So, and also underneath, there's not really anything. It's just more copyright info and stuff. But overall, it's quite solid in the sculpt and paint department. Not too over the top, but also not the worst. But for articulation, we have a head swivel, bicep swivels, so we can kind of rotate those. Legs can go, well, this leg can go kick about that far back, this far forward. And I don't really like how it's cut, because like this just looks unfinished. See how that's like all squared off? But we do have some nice feet swivels, so that's nice. This one likes to move a bit more freely, but not by much. But this one can kick forward about this far, and backwards about that far. So you can kind of get a little bit back and forth. For the wings. These big wings are on ball joints, so you can actually kind of like not only go up and down with them, like almost, again, like a ball joint, but you can also swivel, and it's like a very clean cut swivel, so you can go all the way around, you can glide it. Like, there's basically no resistance there, and you don't have to worry about scuffed paint, at least on the back side of it, because it's not painted at all. Same with on this wing. Sorry for bumping in the camera. These wings are not on ball joints, but basic rotation, so you can kind of come in, go out. They have a little bit of range, nothing too crazy. And the tail here can rotate here, go do a full 360, and this part can also do a full 360. So, again, pretty well done. Nothing like over the top. So, as far as like the Destroy is concerned, aligning everything back into place because it is kind of a finicky little figure. It's pretty good. Like, you can go way worse than this. Going from small scale to large scale, we have the 11-inch giant Kong, who is 11 inches tall. I also just want to say that yes, there is a reissue that has like a slightly different paint job. However, I did not get that one, and I don't really desire to, because I already have this one, and this one's already good as it is. So let's go ahead and go over this. So first up, the head. It's molded pretty well. I like the overall detail that it takes, and it's not like the 6-inch version scaled up. It actually features a different head sculpt with it being much more pissed off, and it has an open mouth, with some extra details to be found within. And of course, we're going to give you a little bit of an in shot here. Pun intended fully. So we have like some of the gum paint, pretty well detailed, like shockingly, tongues painted pretty well. The teeth are sculpted pretty well. Teeth are also just one solid color. On the reissue, they actually painted the gums, which I think was a massive improvement. Because this just looks kind of weird. Mine's got a little bit of a neck, but that's okay. One gripe I do have with the teeth is that they kind of like face forward and almost look like all the teeth up in the front rows like going that way. But, I mean, from head on, it's fine. Kong's head looks pretty well. He's got better eye paint than his 6-inch counterpart, and the gray spray's done a little bit over because it kind of goes up above the eyebrows up into his hair. So it almost looks like he has, well, gray hair. But again, the gray spray looks nice, and we got some nice little orange eyes with black pupils, so that looks pretty fine and dandy. Ears are molded pretty well. The nostrils are not sculpted the way the 6-inch version was, because they go like in deep. This one's just kind of more shout out. But going on down to the little chest, not little chest, it's actually quite big. We have the gray spray. No, it's the black spray. I'm so off my game today. But you can kind of see how the black spray is all across the chest, almost like a plus sign. And it goes down here and right across the breasts. And of course we have the 3 slashes. Mine's got a little bit of a brown nick. Probably, again, some Axis paint or something. Paint rub. Whatever. Come to think of it, I don't think there's any brown paint on this thing. All the brown is just plastic. So what is that from? Probably something from the factory. I have no idea. But I will say the scarring looks a little less clean, because if I bring in the original 6-inch version, then you can kind of get behind the fact that these are more like scars with the way that they're painted versus these ones where it almost just looks like someone was running out of the paint and they just put it on there, because it's a bit faded, but whatever. But the gray looks nice anyway. The hands are definitely a lot more black this go around, because like the entire thing is chocked of that black stuff, because like it almost looks like he took the ink sac and he clenched in his fist. That looks awesome, honestly, from this angle. More like the kind of fur pattern, it again just kind of looks like a larger version of the 6-inch one, which I think the body essentially is, but more of that fur pattern across the body. This hand, slightly gripping open, but more or less the same kind of like black coloring, so nothing to really write home about. Kind of going on down to the legs, which we have a bit more of the detail kind of going down. And then we have the infamous feet, black toes, and underside continuing that black spray. And yes, there is screw holes. However, because I grew up with a lot of toys that had screw holes, they don't bug me all that much. So what do we got for articulation? We have a swivel. There's no hinge this time, unfortunately, so it's just this head swivel. Arm swivel goes 360. Wrist swivel, so finally we get our wrist swivel. Nothing at the waist, but we do have a 360 rotating leg joint, which goes all the way around pretty well on both sides. And tight, but 360 spinning feet swivels. So overall, it looks fine. It's honestly pretty good. And honestly, it serves as a Kong Skull Island larger version.